Hi folks, how you doing? I'm Ross Minton and this is Grow Your Own Life. As always, please give us a like and subscribe. It's a lovely day, got the sun booming in through the polytunnel. Barely keep my eyes on you. Anyway, today I'm going to look at peat-free compost. I'm a big advocate for peat-free compost. I think it's something that we all have to move on to. But there's a problem with it, and the problem is that a lot of the big brands are making really bad compost at the moment. They're selling us peat-free compost, but essentially it's green waste soil conditioner or mulch at best. Last year I bought some peat-free compost. It was absolutely disgusting. It smelt horrible. It was full of plastic. Even some bags had glass and stuff in. Because basically all some of these companies are doing are just buying the green waste from councils, composting it for 12 months, shredding it and then selling it as peat-free. There's hardly any grading going on. They aren't sifting through it. They aren't checking for plastics, glass, metals or anything else. We're basically, excuse the French, getting shit in a bag and we're paying top dollar for it. You know, some of these bags of compost down here, they're £9 a bag, which is extortionate. I know we're going through a cost of living crisis and everything's gone up a bit, but I'm sorry, but £9 for what is essentially soil conditioner, which I can get for about £30 a tonne from a trade merchant, that's absolute daylight robbery. So I've decided I'm going to buy various different brands of peat-free compost. I'm going to sieve it, I'm going to check it, we're going to run a few tests on it, and we're going to see how well it does. We're going to see about how it copes with water retention, we're going to see how much crap or lack of crap is in there, and we're going to basically do what gardeners should do. Get your hands dirty, get in there, hold it, smell it, look at it, and see what it's like. A lot of the old boys down my allotment were telling me that they were struggling with peat-free compost because it wasn't keeping plants moist. They were watering them and then they were going back the following day and the compost was bone dry, because essentially all it was chopped up wood, and obviously there was literally nothing there to lock in the moisture. So we've got a few bags to go at. We're going to start with the Homebase peat-free multi-purpose compost and we'll see what it's like. As I said, if you like this video, please give it a like, please subscribe. This compost has cost me a small fortune. I wouldn't normally spend this much on compost. I would normally take advantage of any deals and offers, like, you know, reduced price for buying in bulk. But because I want to try lots of different brands, I've had to buy all individually. Now, the cheapest compost there was the organic compost, the Super Grow. That was the one I had last year. It was absolute dog poo. Honestly, it was disgusting. It even smelt horrible. But I'm just going to do them in orders as they're stacked because I haven't got the energy to move around compost. So we'll start with the Homebase peat-free and we'll work our way down and we'll see what they're like. Right, here goes nothing. Definitely wear gloves because some of this compost last year was horrible, and I definitely don't want any glass wounds or infected fingers. Doesn't smell too bad. That's not bad smelling, that. Let's get the camera over here, you can have a look. Here you go folks, that's not bad smelling at all. That's what we're looking at. So get my nose in there and have a good old sniff. Yeah, that doesn't smell. Is it anaerobic? Anaerobic? That's how some of the compost is smelling. Looks like there's possibly some wool, something in there. Has that been added for the moisture retention? I don't know. Let's get sieving, shall we? So far, that looks half decent. That seems alright actually, that's quite fluffy. Quite nice and fluffy. Let's get us... Oh, hang on, first bit of plastic. It is. First bit of plastic. Teeny tiny piece. It'll go straight through the sieve, but there it is. White plastic. We'll pop for these, haven't we? That's a pop. First bit of plastic. Oh, second bit of plastic. There it is. I'm obviously going to miss quite a few small pieces in here. Let's see how we get on. Lumps. Oh, another bit of plastic. There. A sieve, that's quite light and fluffy, that. Okay, come on, you got another bit? You got there. Yeah, black. That plastic. No, that's a big stone. It's a big stone. Oh, hang on, have we got glass? Yes, we have. Oh no, is it? Oh, cellophane, I think it is. Yeah, tiny piece of cellophane. So already in one scoop we've got what, 1, 2, 5 bits of plastic. Let's go again. Another bit there, black plastic. It's like panning for gold, but rather than finding something valuable, finding someone else's crap. I think I'm going to be picking so many little bits of plastic out of this. I'm just going to stick for big bits, because I can see 3 or 4 more tiny little bits here. They're not microscopic, obviously, I can see them with my eyes, but they're about the size of, I don't know, a grain of rice. Tiny little bits of plastic. Let's break some of these clumps up and see if there's any bigger bits. I am constantly aware that when I'm breaking these clumps up, there could be glass in, so be careful, don't go banging it just in case you get a massive shard of glass or something, because these are only cotton gloves. And I'm sure they aren't going to protect me against a piece of glass. Quite a lot of stones in here. I mean, oh, there we go. Another bit of black plastic. That looks like a strimmer blade. A broken bit of strimmer blade. See the shape? There we go. Broken bit of strimmer. Proves the point about green waste, doesn't it? Someone's cut their lawn and the strimmer blade, lawnmower blade, has gone in the green waste with the clippings. That's what you're paying for, folks. You're paying for somebody else's rubbish. And this was, I'd have to check the receipt, but I think this was £9 a bag. £9 a bag. Another bit of plastic, looks again possibly a strimmer blade or something. Black plastic. It's really hard to spot the black plastic actually, unless it's a big chunk. Possibly another piece there. Oh, drop that one. Bit of white plastic there, tiny piece, about the size of a grain of rice. Another bit there. Oh, hang on, we've got some orange plastic now. That's easy to spot. There you go. Lost a piece then. As I was flicking through, it flashed. So there you go. I've had a quick go through this. There's quite a lot of small plastic, as you can see in there. See that bit? That looks some kind of, you know, plastic matting or something. It's like a woven material. I'd say that's definitely a strimmer blade. See the curve there? It would have gone elongated down. Some white plastic, that bit of orange plastic, and every now and again you'll spot a tiny piece of plastic. But I have to say, the texture and the consistency looks all right. We need to do a water test on this, so we're going to put it in a plant pot, add some water, and we're going to see what it's like tomorrow, see what the water retention's like. But still, I can't remember if this was £7 or £9 a bag. The cheapest one was that Super Grow. The rest was £7 and £9. So this was potentially £7 a bag. Would I be happy if I, you know, bought a load of this and found loads of plastic in it, £7 a bag? Not really. Is it the worst peat-free compost? Get my words out, Ross. Is it the worst peat-free compost I've ever seen? At the moment, no, it's not too bad. I would argue though, is it compost? There's a lot of wood in there. I mean, to me that's more like a mulch than anything else. Pack it in like that. It's all been fluffed up. I'm going to water it well, and then I'm going to leave it. And tomorrow, in the next couple of days, we'll check how moist the soil is. See how quickly it dries out. There you go. Homebase peat-free multi-purpose compost. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, I think as gardeners it's something that we've got to stand up and be counted for. I think with the way peat-free is going, we need to use peat-free. It's essential for the environment, but we've got to stop these corporations making crap and what could essentially set the whole peat-free movement back a few years. There's no reason why we can't have good peat-free compost. I'm in talk with a few people to get some actual peat-free compost from small companies, family-run businesses that are making it in smaller quantities, and you know they're still making money from it. That, you know, they're making a profit, but they're not like the big brands who want to fleece out as much profit as possible. I think the problem is with a lot of these corporations, especially when you're dealing with, you know, multi-million-pound unit orders and stuff, is they're just trying to fulfill orders for supermarkets, for garden centres and DIY stores, and so they're just putting any old rubbish in a bag, and it's not good. It'd be better if the gardening community come together and said, we don't want this anymore, we don't want this plastic crap in our compost, you've got to do better, and had it removed from sale, because essentially we're just spreading microplastics further and further around the country. I know there's an argument to say that horse has already bolted, and there's microplastics everywhere, but just because that's probably the case doesn't mean we should continue doing it. I mean, all of these little bits of plastic that you find in the compost, it can so easily make its way into the watercourse and then back out into the oceans again. And also, we still don't know the effects of microplastics and soil contamination and how it affects food. You know, we could be essentially putting the death knell on gardening for the future. You know, in the next 10 years, if we keep using peat-free compost that's packed full of plastic, are we going to have a serious situation where it turns out that we've basically contaminated and ruined all of our gardens in the UK? I don't know, but I know one thing for certain: when I'm spending £9 on a bag of compost, I don't want plastic in it. I really don't want plastic in it. I don't want stones in it. I don't want sticks in it when I'm spending £9 a bag. I definitely don't want plastic in it at £9 a bag. Anyway, folks, as always, take care. Speak soon.